back once again with the Renegade Master. We're back with the very late market breakdown. Last week's breakdown from the 11th to the 16th, my market analysis would normally be posted on a Sunday. However, I spent the weekend with my son down at the caravan, opening up our beautiful caravan for this year's season, and I'd never got a chance until today. I had a busy week. Catching up with some stuff from the previous week, and I wasn't even in the office yesterday. I missed an opportunity, obviously, because that is how the world works. I haven't been able to catch much of a break. I think I'm probably putting too much pressure onto myself at the minute to try and make this work and get these funding off the way. We're nearly in April. Can you believe that we are nearly at the end of the first quarter, and I still haven't got £100,000 funded yet. Obviously, I've had issues with the funded engineer, and that is no longer an issue anymore, because on Friday we had last Friday I had an issue with a trade in the US dollar, Canadian dollar. It's a longer story. Basically, Monday there was a trade on EC that I took, this being on my Darwin, and it took me out for a full stop. However, when I entered this trade, I never had the funded engineer connected to the trade copier. I had to enter the trade manually. However, I couldn't work with with this. You can pull up with MT4. It's easy enough to pull up the pairs that you want to watch and drag them onto the chart. I couldn't work that out on MT5. I was complete and utter noob, so I ended up having to download it on my phone, and I got in a little bit of a better entry, but still took the loss on it, and it was a pain in the rectum. And then on the Wednesday there was another trade opportunity within GF, and again I missed the opportunity. I missed the entry. I got a worse entry with the trying to trade it off my phone, so I gave up and I connected it to my trade copier. And then on Thursday afternoon I entered. So I found this trade, I was watching it set out live, I was waiting for, where's she gone? I was waiting for this close, this hammer close. I then entered on, firstly I seen this hammer close, and I wanted to add my funded engineer to the trade copier, and it took a little bit of time. I got a worse entry, not too much further down, but this was in the morning, 9 o'clock. This was 12 o'clock, this candle here. So I closed the original entry out on my master account, which closed across all of my other accounts, but I hadn't toggled to copy pending, copy stop, and copy TP on the funded engineer. So when I closed this out on Thursday morning at 12 o'clock, I came back in the office after. I was at the gym at this point as well, so I came back in the office after, seeing that it had reversed. There was no other opportunity setting up that afternoon, so I left the office and cracked on about my day, and came back the following day and had an email. Once I'd opened my emails on my computer, there was an account breach, hard breach of the funded FTMO, the funded engineer account challenge in phase 2. So yeah, this is because I hadn't copied the stop loss, which I had moved to break even once price had moved down here. So there would have been no loss anyway. And I took 0.5% off the table here, so that would have contributed towards the count. But yeah, as this reversed hard, and there was no stop loss in place, or take profit, or copy pending, I was taken out later on that afternoon, or breached the account rules, which is a shame. But it is what it is. I was having many issues with the funded engineer. I'm glad to move away from it and not really have much to do with it. That's fine. But yeah, we'll go back through the previous week's trades, starting from EC on Monday. So looking back now this morning, there's something very, very obvious with the current price action, which has been happening a lot over a lot of pairs so far in March. It's not been a great month for myself or for, well, I'm saying for anyone else. I can't really see the opportunities for many people unless there's scalpers or they trade the lower time frame. But there's a lot of consolidation going on with price at the minute. There's lots of ranging markets, especially this week here. I tried to enter the short. This was the previous high, 1350 cross below. It created this multi-day reversal pattern, and came back up and respected the previous highs from here. And it's more like a head and shoulders pattern in my eyes. So I was looking for the head and shoulders short. My only discrepancy would be the 1350 cross to the upside, but that does happen when I'm looking for a head and shoulders. This lovely 1 hour shift candle and this previous wick candle indicated to me that it would grab the liquidity and price had moved out of this area and we wasn't coming back anytime soon. So my first initial entry was here, and my second entry on the funded engineer account was a bit of a better entry, risk to reward. But yeah, this took me out for a full 1%. And obviously then price continued to chop throughout the week and never really gave any opportunities until later on the Friday. The Friday, however, hadn't really seen a clear indication other than this wick here, the wick below this week's price action, that we could reverse. So I didn't really load up too much on this. I loved the one leg out the band and the one leg in the band. I loved the whole pattern itself. I would have preferred a little bit of a sweep below the Asian range, which is this grey box, the blue box on the 15 minute. And I've entered on the 1 hour close. I had one entry here and one entry a bit further down. But yeah, this TP'd for me. That being the Monday, which was, to me, looking at it now, was a clear sign of a poor trade. And I think because I was too busy trying to sort the funded engineer out, I could have got out here and again here. But I held on to TP. Obviously, I had too much going on. I was trying to do too much at once. And this trade, yeah, I had an entry a bit further down, and then the second entry here. Yeah, it was a 2-to-1 trade, and I stopped this one before TP because it was over 2-to-1, and I could see that we wasn't going to break this 0-0. There was a lot of trap liquidity, trap volume here, so I was happy with the 2-to-1 on that. Overall it was more with the second entry, but yeah, price then has continued to not really do a lot. We're seeing a lot of ranging behaviour, although this seems to be breaking out of this range, and we seem to be given a indication that we're going to be going a bit lower. Although on the 4 hour we've just seen a 4 hour harmonic, so we could be seeing some bullish price momentum back up to these highs here at least. But look at the ranges on here. You see this sort of God, what's the word I'm looking for? Trending. You see the trending market here, trending, then range, chop. This is what normally happens, and it's the best thing to do here is try and avoid, for me, to trade these areas unless you see a clear indication or sweeping of liquidity that could mean we're on to continuation or reversal, depending on which way you're looking at the markets. So that was last week with the Euro Canadian dollar. This is the US dollar Canadian dollar, which I mentioned briefly at the beginning. Again, you can see very tight action here. My analysis was that we were looking for a previous short because the 1350 crossed back to the downside, so I was looking for short-term sells. This was obviously an area of interest where I was looking for price to come down and break or retest or trap before moving any higher. This was a 5-to-1 trade. I wasn't expecting to play out, but I'd marked it out thinking that price may come back to retest these previous lows, this trap volume down here, before continuing longer. But the news was at 12:30 on Thursday. Sorry, I closed out thankfully, Good trade management from myself, and price then reversed. Obviously, the only trade management that I struggled with was the funded engineer, but that's fine. It is what it is. It's done and dusted. We move on. Wednesday, I had a trade on the pound Swiss franc. So my analysis for this trade was, we were in a previous. If you look at this, we've had some bullish momentum. We had a reset here. We had another 3 levels high. We had a level 1, level 2 behaviour, level 3. You see this 1350 cross to the downside. I lost it. We see the 1350 cross to the downside. This is some typical level 3 type behaviour. I like to see a price more up in the extremes like we see here. Sometimes that can be the first leg. This could be the sort of second leg, multi-day, multi-week sort of session. Price has pulled back to the 13. The 13 here has given us a bit of a water bounce on the 15-minute, then gave us the move outside. I missed this entry on the Tuesday, but then on the Wednesday I see this sweep of liquidity, the beautiful 1 hour trapping railroad tracks. Then you see the second leg set up, and then this gave me a nice entry. It was 12 for 24 pips, I think, was here. So it was a 2-to-1 entry, risk to reward trade, but it reversed against me. And did he take me out, or did I close it just before? Yeah, stop loss was there. I closed it on the close above here, so just before, didn't quite take the full stop. And then last but not least, beautiful trade. Look on the 15-minute as well. First leg, one leg out the band, the second leg in the band, closed below. First entry was here, but I was waiting for the 30-minute to roll over, which it then did. So I got an entry on the 15, stop outside the 30 wick, and then obviously it went on to reverse and stop me out. Again, not a lot of movement within here. Pretty tight ranges overall. Pretty tight range. Inducement short, switch it up, trap, induce, shift. Same again, very tight, and then we've seen this. The Swiss National Bank have just cut their rates, so we've seen a lovely bullish move out there today. And that was it for the week. Yeah, EA on the Wednesday, sorry. Again, looking back at it now, look at this price action. I'm trying to force a trade there. That is a beautiful reversal long. However, the 1350 price trade failed to break this previous point of interest. Failed to break. On the 4 hour, it was still bearish. So I was looking for an entry. Yeah, price closed. I closed it as soon as it closed above. It was there's an AR, so it was an Asian range bounce. So price induced outside the Asian range, pulled back to the 50, tapped the 50 of the Asian range, rolled over. It was actually a beautiful trade. It was actually a beautiful setup, not a trade. This whole close here, the 13 closed below the signal line, bounced off the static. It was a beautiful entry, well managed. Closed the trade above there. We was going for a 3-to-1. Yeah, that was the weekly trades. It was disappointed with the results, although it can't be helped. I am trying to pass challenges. I need to trade a little bit less. Stop forcing the trades in these tight consolidated areas. Wait for we see a nice clear inducement. We see this level 3 type behaviour. The rollover in the first pullback, which we haven't had yet on this pair. But yeah, it was an interesting week. I had quite a bit going on last week as well. My concentration probably I wasn't fully focused on trading. I was just focused on trying to get everything done within the time frame I had, which has obviously distracted me. I wasn't fully prepared each day. So failure to prepare to fail sort of thing. I wasn't hyper in each trade. I wasn't doing my mindset checking. I wasn't doing my meditation. I wasn't doing the things I needed to do beforehand. I was just turning up at the markets expecting to find a trade, and obviously that goes against me. But this is full transparency. I don't just share the highs. I want to share the highs and the lows. The highs and the lows of trading, the highs and the lows of the mindset. Yeah, the feelings, the highs and lows. Feeling good at the minute, feeling really good and really focused. I'm trying to be as disciplined and as focused as I possibly can whilst I'm in the office. I've come up with, I think I'm going to do a little bit more YouTube stuff. I'm going to do maybe some live, like an hour a day or an hour a couple of times a week in the day, where I'm looking at the charts through London, and I'm looking for an entry, potentially taking live entries on YouTube, and then gathering the data and collecting it with the TradeZeller going forward. But yeah, I hope everyone has a wicked end to the week. Free Cash Friday tomorrow. I hope those who are trading as well have had a decent week this week. I'll do my market breakdown for this week on Sunday. But yeah, stay safe. The high impact news today, so hence the reason why I've got a chance to do this. I'm not looking to take anything too risky. But yeah, have a great day. Great rest of the week. Peace out.